and they said it couldn't be done. Are you serious right now? When you put together two of the greatest minds and mouths that sports and entertainment has ever seen, this is what you get. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the very first episode. But there's going to be many, many more of the Coach and Bro Show. And my partner needs a proper introduction. He is literally one of the greatest minds of all time. And I'm telling you right now, what you'll get on this show is fan-based, a rant, intelligent. I'll let him tell you. Vince Russo, it is a privilege and an honor to share the screen with you.
Wait a minute, Coach. If you're going to be my tag team partner, bro, you got to smarten me up, bro. Bro, nobody told me we were wearing the skull caps today, bro.
Oh, it's not a skull cap. We're going baseball cap.
Okay, you got full baseball backwards, bro. I got you.
If you want to yell at me, I will then yell at you. Nobody told me we were going to wear Joe Namath.
No, Testaverde, bro. Testaverde, the Italians. I got to support the Italians, bro. Bro, Vinny, look, Coach. Come on, bro.
Oh, my God. That's even worse. That's even worse.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Raise your hand out there in Coach and Bro land if you even know who Vinny Testaverde is. That's my question. That's my question.
Come on, he's a paisan, Coach. He's a paisan.
So for everybody who doesn't know, and you should, my man is from Long Island, New York.
Yes.
He loves himself some New York. We're going to fight a lot. It's going to be respectful, but damn it, it's going to be a good time. And Vince, I don't know if the good folks at Sportskeeda understand what they've just given the good people around this great land of ours. Do you?
No, I don't, because listen, man, this show, bro, whatever topics we tackle, it's going to be all about truth. I like to use the term, Coach, I don't mamby-pamby stuff. You don't sissy Mary stuff. We don't girly man stuff. Just like yesterday, for instance, my Giants, bro, they shite the bed, bro. Horrible. Bro, horrible. Absolutely horrible. See, Coach, because you know why? We're real fans that tell it like it is.
You're damn right. And this is what you're going to get on the Coach and Bro Show. So we're going to be here 2 times a week, Mondays and Thursdays. You're going to get sports. Yes. You're going to get wrestling. Absolutely. We decide how much of each you're going to get. But I guarantee you, there may be other shows out there that do both. But not at this level. So settle in, ladies and gentlemen. And topic number 1 is this. When you're talking about playing quarterback in New York, Vince, last year, everybody was raving. Aaron Rodgers, he's the savior. Going to take the Jets to the Super Bowl. And then he lasted all of 4 plays. So now he's back, but you add to it the fact that he's returning home. People forget he's from the Bay Area. He went to Cal. So as a sports fan from New York, please enlighten me. How much talk has been going on there in New York City?
Coach, a lot of talk has been going on, but I got to tell you, man, in New York, bro, when you're a New Yorker, that's YAWKER. When you are a real New Yorker, it's about reality, Coach. It's about reality. Bro, there is so much deja vu. Coach, you know that phrase, deja vu? I think Dionne Warwick had a song by the name of it. You know what I'm talking about, Coach?
Yes.
Coach, I'm going to go through these statistics with you. Deja vu. 2008, bro, 16 years ago, a man by the name of Brett Favre, 39-year-old Brett Favre, bro, comes to the Jets, bro, 8-3. Everybody in New York going absolutely ballistic. Unfortunately, by the time Brett got to 8-3, body was broken, run down, 39 years old, bro. They didn't make the playoffs. Here, bro, Aaron Rodgers, 41 years old. Are we talking about the possibility, bro, of history repeating itself here? We got to look at a 41-year-old quarterback, bro. Is he going to hold up throughout the entire season?
That's a big-time question. He's also coming off of what I consider to be the hardest injury for a player to come back from, and that's an Achilles, because you got to be able to cut. He's not the fastest guy, but every player has to be able to cut. and you take one wrong step, it can snap like that again. And I cannot believe that it was 16 years ago. I left the WWE the first time in 2008. I can't believe it's been that long since Brett Favre played for the Jets. But I remember, to your point, that when he came there, Vince, it was like the world. It was like, remember, it was a parade. He had the private jet, everything coming in. This feels bigger than that. 2 former Packers, now Jets. What would you consider a success for Aaron Rodgers tonight?
Oh, my God. No, I mean, obviously they've got to make the playoffs, bro, but I think they also have to advance in the playoffs. But I got to tell you, Coach, I just keep going back to a 41-year-old quarterback in the NFL. Not everybody is Tom Brady, especially like you said, coming off of this type of injury. Man, bro, if he makes it through this season, but again, I got to tell you, this story just reeks of Brett Favre.
Let me ask you this. Because Brett Favre was at least likable back then. Aaron Rodgers has not only been unlikable, he got fined $50,000 in the offseason because he went to Egypt and he called it a bucket list event in his life, as if he doesn't make $40+ million, as if he can't go to Egypt, like the country's going to be non-existent if he goes in, I don't know, July or February. And so to me, there's a lot of pressure that goes on his shoulders. I also think you bring up a good point that he would love to play until Tom Brady, 45-year-old, did it. But Aaron Rodgers is not Tom Brady. So I believe that tonight, when you look at some of the numbers as far as betting is concerned, we'll get to that in a moment. I think he's going to put a lot of pressure on himself, and I think he struggles tonight against San Francisco, against a really young quarterback. And when you talk about Brock Purdy and the 49ers and George Kittle and Deebo Samuels and Christian McCaffrey and all of these weapons, we now know that if you're talking the 49ers, it is Super Bowl or bust. That's a different storyline, Vince, than the Jets, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, 1,000%. And also, on top of everything you mentioned, I got to tell you, you're the betting guy. Coach, I got to put myself over.
Okay.
I was 3-0 over the weekend, bro, going into last night. I lost by half a point, and I'm going to get into that later. I was 3-0. I was looking for the clean sweep.
What games did you hit?
I hit the Eagle game,
Yep.
bro. Bet against the Denver Broncos every single week. Whoever the Broncos are playing, take them.
Seahawks.
I went on the Seattle Seahawks. What was the first game? The Thursday night game.
Chiefs and the Ravens.
Yeah, Chiefs. I won with the Chiefs. So I had the Rams yesterday. Half a lousy point, bro.
They went to overtime last night, Sunday Night Football. That's what they did, and we've got a little storyline on that coming up.
Yeah, we
do. Those were tight hits. The Chiefs were giving, I can't remember what the number was, but they were up 7.
Yeah,
the Ravens scored that touchdown, but he wore a size 16 instead of a 15, or that would have been, they were going to go for 2, 100%, because Harbaugh was already doing the 2 thing. So
yes,
that's how tight the NFL can be. You very easily could have been 0-3, and instead
very easily. That's why I'll take the 3-1.
Absolutely, you will. Now, producer man, I need my one shot quickly. When you talk about betting, let's talk about betting tonight. Right now, according to DraftKings, it's at -4, and the number is at 43. I think this is way too low for a lot of reasons. The 49ers have a lot to prove. Their front office is not happy about paying Brandon Ayuk $30 million a year when he's a middle-of-the-road, maybe above-average wide receiver. Trent Williams, he got his money too. There's a lot of mouths to feed. So when you're Super Bowl or bust and the fan base is what they are, you got to come out tonight. Team total over 23.5. I love that number. And then also I like the 49ers to lay the 4. I think they blow out the Jets by at least a touchdown or more. Vince, do you like that take or not?
Bro, listen, we're supposed to be tag team partners here.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, I get wiped off the screen, bro. What am I, the Marty Jannetty of this team, bro? All of a sudden, there's full screen coach. I'm wiped off the, what am I, Marty? Just call me Marty going forward. I got to tell you, Coach, I think there's a huge advantage, and you are the betting guy, bro. So absolutely, you deserve the full screen, bro. I think you got a huge advantage that first week, and I'll tell you what the advantage is. You ain't going to get the whole rest of the year. First game at home, bro, I think is a huge advantage.
Yes.
Huge advantage when you're betting the first week of the season. So absolutely 100%. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers is from there. The way the Niners, went out last year, 1,000% I think they're going to roll. Rodgers is rusty, bro. You can have all the preseason games you want. This is real competition, bro. I'm with you, Coach. I can't see them winning by less than a touchdown.
So the consensus coaching bro first play of the year, me and Vince are together. San Francisco minus the 4. Now, a few other storylines before we get into the wrestling portion of the program, and we've got a lot to say there as well. But there are storylines that abound. You could literally do a 2-hour show every single day if you wanted to. But last night's Sunday Night Football, and we've seen it, Vince, in all the different towns we would go to for Monday Night Raw, or whether I was going to SmackDown, and fans can be brutal. And when you have the Rams and the Lions and they flip-flop quarterbacks, and Jared Goff is now in Detroit, used to be a Ram, and then Matthew Stafford. After last year in the playoffs, apparently Matthew Stafford's wife, who made a lot of headlines in the offseason by saying stuff she did back at Georgia when they were broken up and on a break, she said, I don't feel comfortable going back to Detroit City. The fans were not nice to me. Are we supposed to care about a quarterback's wife and whether or not she feels welcome back? This is the NFL, damn it, Vince.
Yeah, Coach. Coach, the New York is going to go a little mamby-pamby on you.
Oh.
Because do we care about the quarterback's wife? Absolutely not. Bro, when you start going out with this dude and he's a blue chipper, he's going to be in the NFL, there's going to be a lot of charisma. You got to take that, bro. You got to take that. However, Coach, when there are kids involved, I get a little soft.
You're all right.
And now I'm picturing in my mind, come on, these animal NFL fans. Bro, she's at the game with the kids. They're screaming at her and the kids, throwing all kinds of
you got me. I'm gonna change. Yeah. I'm gonna change it right now. You're right. I didn't think about the kids and the fact that those skyboxes they're open. They're open.
Yeah, but now, bro, there's an alternative to this, Coach. Leave the kids home.
That's true. It's also
leave the kids home. Go
to Detroit.
Yeah, so go support your husband. Leave the kids home. But bringing the kids to the game, that I get 100%.
All right, moving on. Now, I never thought that you and I would live in a world, Vince, where we would see an NFL player make $60 million a year. But we have arrived. Yesterday, 5 hours before game time, before the Browns were pounded by the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, I thought he would go all the way to free agency, but he signed a 4-year, $240 million extension, $60 million per. And because he's petty and his agent is petty, we like that. He got $1 million more in guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson's horrible contract for the Cleveland Browns. Vince, when you see this, and we know that in our worlds, whether it's sports or wrestling, when a guy gets top dollar, now the pressure gets ratcheted up even more. Yeah. Your take?
Let's make this clear, Coach. First of all, Prescott's contract did not match yours at the WWE. Yeah. I just want to say that for the record. Let's not get crazy, bro. He's not making more than Coach made in his heyday. Coach, I got to tell you this. This is what's good and bad. Listen, Coach, I'm sure you'll agree with me. Bro, if you are a professional athlete, if you are a garbage man, make as much money as you can. You make as much money as you can earn. $240 million, good for Dak Prescott and his family. However, here's the bad part of that, Coach, and you know this. Now it becomes all about the money. Now it's all about the money, bro. So now if he doesn't perform, it all goes back to 4 years, $240 million. So when you talk about now the pressure times 10, I agree with you 1,000%. So now it comes down to, is he going to be able to handle the pressure of that contract?
It's also something bigger for me than that. And I compare it to LeBron James. And when you have children, and I have a son, he's an elite golfer. And if somebody told me, Coach, you're already a billionaire, or you're already making 40 million plus like Dak is, and you have a chance to play with your son like LeBron, but you also want to win a championship, and he takes over $50 million and his son gets whatever, and now the Lakers stink. If I'm Dak Prescott, yes, I want to make every last dollar. But it wasn't that long ago, Vince, that top shelf quarterbacks were making in the 40s. And now it's the 50s. And they have not won anything. They have not gone to the promised land. They have not done anything since 1997. Why can't people take a little bit less? And maybe nobody wants to be that example. But don't you want to win championships too?
Hey, I got to tell you, man, listen, it's if Coach, I'm from the school of if you can get the money, take it, man. If you can get them, if your agent can get you every last dollar, take the money, bro. I am a big advocate of that because listen, Coach, we want to go back to wrestling. You got on these guys have a shelf life, man. He's not going to be able to be in that position forever. They've got a very short shelf life. He ain't going to make that kind of money when he goes in the announce booth. So for the years he's on that field, bro, make as much money as you could possibly get.
I don't, in my heart, disagree with that. I think when I see a player that's made over $40 million for 4 or 5 years, instead of like, this is like his second big deal. And I think that's why I feel that way. But specifically, the NFL probably has the best comparison to wrestling of any of the sports, that it can be one move and it's over. And you want to have that guaranteed money. Last NFL topic, and then we will shift over to wrestling. And as I said, we want you guys to send us tweets, send us ideas. Let us know what you would like us to talk about. We're here for you and to give our dynamic takes. Now, yesterday, Tyreek Hill, he's 2 blocks from the stadium, and all of a sudden, all over every single pregame show, Vince, he is face down in handcuffs, said afterwards, I can't talk about it. Then he talked about it. And there are cops that have been put on administrative leave. There's nothing he could have done at that point driving into the stadium that would have warranted what we saw yesterday. And then he still balled out 7 catches, 130 yards, and that spectacular 80-yard touchdown. Have you ever seen a player be able to compartmentalize getting arrested in front of his fans and put on the street and then have that happen in the game?
That's a pro, bro. That's a pro. That separates the men from the boys. For the day that he had to go out on the field and perform the way he did, that is an absolute pro. And bro, that's why they get to paid the big bucks we were just talking about. But bro, real quick, can we talk about that Sunday night football game?
Sure.
I got 3 rants. I got 3 rants, Coach, and I'm not going to take enough time. First of all, I am so sick and tired, bro. Sean McAvey. Oh, I'm really proud of this group of guys. Bro, what was this? Powder puff football? Bob Melvin of the Giants does this after every game. How proud. Bro, I don't want to hear how proud you are. If I am a freaking Rams fan, what is this? Is this the Powder Puff Girls, bro? You're proud of your team. You freaking lost, bro. You freaking lost. You're proud of grown men. Oh, bro, because we had injuries. But get out of here. That's number 1. Here's number 2, Coach. Please help me with this. Bro, this new kickoff format, bro, if every kickoff is going to be out of the end zone and nothing's going to be returned, can we just start with the ball at the 30-yard line? Bro, how long, Coach, did it take baseball to figure out, bro, if we're going to intentionally walk somebody, we don't need to throw 4 pitches. We could just tell them to take, what did it take them, 50 years to figure that out? Bro, start at the 30-yard line. And, Coach, here's my biggest one, and I'm sorry I'm ranting here, and I'm going to let you go. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Bro, we can't have this Patrick Mahomes rule only in the playoffs. Bro, to win a coin flip, and that is going to give you that type of an advantage where if you score a touchdown, game is over. That's why we changed it for the playoffs. But here's what I don't understand, Coach. You're going to change that for the playoffs. Bro, there's 17 regular season games. Are you saying, oh, those 17 games aren't important enough where if the first score is a touchdown, the other team isn't getting the ball back to score a touchdown? Bro, you could have the corner trip over his own feet. The guy catches an 80-yard pass. Game over. Bro, they got to change that rule. They do the same thing in baseball, coach. We don't have the ghost runner in the playoffs, but we got the ghost runner during the regular season. Like those games don't matter. I hate that.
Runner.
Coach, I hate that. Runner? I hate you for loving that, coach. But, coach, do you agree with me? Bro, you can't have different rules from playoffs to regular season.
The reason I don't is because if you stop them, play some defense, you do get the ball back. If they kick a field goal, you get it back. And they're trying to protect the players and not have them play too long and too much and have more injuries. That's why they do it. Number 2, it's Sean McVay. Number 3, what was your second rant topic?
The kickoff, bro. Come on.
That one I agree with you. It was supposed to be to add excitement to the playoff, to the play. If they're going to do that, they need to have them kick it off from 5 yards further back, because these kickers now, there was a dude last night who made a 66-yarder that would have been good for 70. These new kickers are next level. So they all can kick it out of the end zone. So you're right on that one. They've got to fix it. But the other two, I agree with you. This is going to be so much fun to do. We may have, don't tell the bosses, but 2 times a week may not be enough. That's what I'm saying. May not be enough.
Bro, when your son is 10 over par in a big golf tournament, a lot of cash on the line, he's 10 over par. Do you sit him down after that and say, "I'm very proud of you, son. You were 10 over par today"?
Not for the performance.
Okay, no. Thank you very much.
I do it for how he handles the negative, because you have to, but certainly not. You got to play better. You got to work harder. There's no question. I can't stand the little league mentality.
Yeah. You cut the promo on you. You cut this promo on your own son after a bad round of golf. I like that, coach.
His mother doesn't. He kind of does. All right, you're watching the Coach and Bro Show. This is episode number 1, and damn it, we're gonna have a ton of fun, and you're gonna hear actual rants and actual opinions and actual truth. So with all that being said, we do have a wrestling portion of the program. And I would love to say there was a lot of things that matched the emotion of what I'm getting ready to say. But Vince, let me just say this. This is not because we work for the WWE and combined a gazillion years. We are wrestling fans at our core. And what I saw at AEW All Out in Chicago was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. And it wasn't just one thing. It was one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. And when you put a plastic bag over somebody's head as if you're trying to kill them, at what point do we say, Tony Khan, come on, I know you've got a take on this?
Yeah, I mean, Coach, I just get the feeling that it just seems to me, there's a couple things going on here. It just seems to me like, desperate measures for desperate people. That's number 1. Number 2, Tony Khan has always played to a very small niche audience, not the masses. You're not going to get the masses with this type of programming. A very small audience likes this. Coach, listen, I was a writer for many, 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 many years. And I can't tell you how many times I would sit behind this desk, and here was the question I would constantly ask myself as I'm writing if I get stuck. If this shit were real, what would happen? That's how you got to write a wrestling show. So when you're setting houses on fire, when you're going to suffocate a man, when you're sticking syringes in mouths, Coach, somehow in the context of wrestling, you have to make that make sense. It's got to be logical, because if I'm sitting there and I'm writing this show and I'm saying exactly what you're saying, we're trying to suffocate this man. Okay, bro, are we arresting him for murder? Are there going to be files? You've got to be able to answer those questions. And that's why with a lot of these things, bro, you'll see even the way the WWE did the return of the Wyatt Six, it looked like Gable took a bullet to the head. Bro, you got to be able to explain those things. Those things have to make sense. Otherwise, it's just shock value, and it will get you absolutely nowhere.
You know what I thought? I thought 2 things when I was watching that. And I'm so sick and tired of reading, some mark with 32 followers tells me I'm an idiot, I'm out of touch. No, we know what the hell we're talking about. And we're going to stand behind that, period, point blank, end of freaking story. And when I'm watching that, I thought, because you taught us when you were on Behind the Turnbuckle, you said, it's got to be reality based. It's got to make sense in reality.
Yes.
And in reality, here's what I thought. And I hate to say this, but I saw some 8-year-old kid playing with a 6-year-old little brother and saying, hey, I saw this last week on Collision. And let me try this. And then all of a sudden we get this horrible story about how some brother kills his little brother because of that. That may seem extreme, but that's what through my head. Is that crazy?
No, and you're exactly right, Coach. And here's what you got to really ask yourself, Coach, and I would love to hear your answer to this. Ask yourself one question. Why? What is the point of doing that? What are you getting out of doing that? What, bro? Coach, they're going to tune in next week to see if you put a plastic bag off somebody else's head? What is the point of doing that?
I have a lot of friends that are still around and in this business, and they know that we have shows. And I think the one thing they respect about you and me, and also Tommy Carlucci, is that it doesn't matter what company or whatever, we're going to keep it real and tell you what we think. I actually got some text messages yesterday. This is a shoot. And there's a lot of people that have gone in and out of AEW. And this person has been in AEW. And he said, without a doubt, Tony Khan books for Twitter. And when Twitter has all of these posts that say, less than 700,000 viewers, or nobody's watching, or there's no TV deal in place, now you think that these are what you've got to do to get the attention of the fan base, to increase your viewership, to get all of those things. That's what it smelled like to me.
And Coach, here's the bottom line. Think about this, because I know you and I are all about business. It's all about business. Bro, when you're in the midst of negotiating a new television, why in God's name would you take a chance doing those things? All you got to do, bro, is have one executive from WB Discovery go online. What? They put syringes and plastic. All you have to do is have one guy turn around and say, bro, what are we doing? Do we really want to be in business with this company? What a bonehead move, Coach, all around. If not for nothing, the business implications.
That is such a spectacular take. And for me, because I've said this the last couple of weeks about some of the decisions that WWE is making, but to me, that's got to be the first thing you ask yourself. And so if you've got, and this goes like so much deeper, I know Tony Khan doesn't listen to anybody. He's got people around. I've heard the names, don't know, don't care. But when you're sitting in a room and you're a great leader, you've got to listen to your people. And you can't tell me there wasn't at least one person, because there was probably 8 or 10 things they did that was ridiculously stupid. I've never even thought about, why would you put a syringe in his mouth? That just looked disgusting to me. And then you're going to do a pile driver to your biggest star off the middle rope and damn near break his neck. What was Bryan Danielson thinking? What was MJF thinking to take those moves? You've never seen The Rock take those moves.
Never.
Didn't have
never.
to.
No,
the storylines were big enough.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense.
And let's
to me.
not forget. Let's not forget the chair shots to the head. Like, what gimmick? No gimmick. Coach, I just got to tell you, getting back to the tie of football and wrestling here, bro. About a week ago, I saw Megyn Kelly interview Brett Favre. I don't know if you've seen any Brett Favre interviews lately.
I haven't.
Coach, he's really struggling.
Really?
And Brett, he basically said, bro, when I look back now, there's no question in my mind, I suffered 1,000 concussions. And bro, I'm watching him and he's not there. Why would you go to the head if you don't have to, Coach? Why? Gimmick, not gimmick. Why would you mess with somebody's head if you don't have to?
People do not want to talk about this side of the business. They don't want to talk about the CTE part of the business. It's not only a reality, it should be one of the first things that you think about. The other part that it can do for you is make you book smarter, write smarter, be more creative, really dig deep instead of the low-hanging fruit. And if I have one more fan go, Coach, you don't understand, that's a gimmicked chair, I'm going to lose my mind. I'll go back to fans that watch from home. When I watch football, I go out on Thanksgiving and I'm trying to run a deep pattern. Wrestling fans do the same damn thing. And not only is it a why, it should never be done. Never be done. I have so many friends. Vince, there's a lot of wrestlers that have issues with it. And you stand there and talk to them and you say, clearly they have CTE. They've had concussions. And the final 10, 15 years of their life is going to be very, very difficult. We can get ahead of that game. And if I'm Swerve or I'm any of these guys, why would they be willing to do it is my question, Vince. Why would they be willing to do it?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, Coach, and this is a whole other show, bro. This is a whole other show. The marks have made it to the ring.
Wow.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell, because no clear-minded, intelligent individual would allow that with all the science that we have now, unless you literally the marks have made. Bro, you worked with Daniel Bryan. I know his medical background. Bro, are you out of your mind
Incredible.
to be doing the things you're doing in a wrestling ring today? Literally, bro. And then, Coach, they'll tell you, oh, bro, it's for the love of the game. Okay, great, bro. So you want to die for the love of the game. You want to be a vegetable for the love of the game. You don't want to be able to add 2 and 2 when you're 60 for the love of the game. You know what, Coach? Then you're a moron.
This is exactly, I wanted to let that breathe just for 2 seconds, because that's going to be taken out of the show. Part of the reason I came back to talk about wrestling, and I started our Behind the Turnbuckle, and ultimately in this moment, I just realized why you and I are doing a show together. There has got to be people who are in this business, that are on the peripheral of this business, who have seen it from the inside out, that have got to speak on this type of stuff and not run away from it. And what you just said is incredibly powerful. And I know we want everything to be lighthearted. We want everything to be fun. But is it going to be fun when in the next couple of weeks, MJF goes, oh my God, I just, and then he goes and I got raked over the coals because a few weeks ago I said, Big E's not coming back. And they said, shouldn't you let him announce his own retirement? And I said, it's my opinion that he should not come back because he's broke his neck. And now he's announcing making a nice living. And that's got to be enough. It's not about the first 35. It's about the next 35.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Absolutely. At 1,000%. That's the thing. The mentality, coaches, they think they can do this forever.
Yep.
Bro, when you're 45 and you're broken, and like I said, bro, you can't solve a simple math equation, and now you're making a living going to wrestling conventions every weekend, you're going to wish you would have rethought this, but bro, you can't go back. Once
Correct.
The damage is done, the damage is done.
And there are so many wrestlers now. Some are really, really smart. Hurricane Helms, he's one of my favorite guys. He could have kept going. He was healthy enough. He said, how about I go on the executive side of things? You can still make a nice living being a road agent.
Right,
helping
exactly.
these talent do a really smart match so they don't have to go off the top rope, so you don't have to do that stuff. But ultimately, here on this show, we're going to talk about all of it. And moving forward, I think because of this one night, you brought up the best point of any of them. There's going to be one of these top executives. They're going to sit in a room and be like, Tony, we love you, bud. You're a nice guy. We've liked doing business with you. But there is no universe that we're going to live in that is going to be attached to us as the main network for your show. It's going to happen.
All it takes is one person, Coach, and it's Goodnight Irene, one person.
As we look forward to tonight, and this is going to be anywhere from 25 to 40 minutes, depending on how much we have to talk about. And damn it, me and Vince have a lot that we're going to talk about. But we come out on Mondays and Thursdays, and coming up in just a little bit is going to be Monday Night Raw. And I know that, in my opinion, I don't like the whole, well, this guy can't go to this show because this show. And Vince, you were there. You wrote this. And I think it's so ludicrous in 2024 if a guy doesn't have something on SmackDown because the Bloodline is dominating that show. Why can't Cody come over to Monday Night Raw and be a star over here for a while?
You know, Coach, I was there. You know, when SmackDown was created. Okay. Bro, the reason why they originally came up with the brand split was because the WWE was so hot at that time, they wanted to run 2 tours on the same day. So they wanted to have an A team, you know, work the East Coast, and then they wanted to have a B team on the West Coast. They were so hot, they were making money hand over fist through house shows. That's why the brand split started. Bro, they've been away from that. Coach, I almost went back to the WWE in 2002. And the first thing I said to Vince was, will you get rid of this ridiculous brand split, bro? It is asinine. Vince, do you really believe that fans believe there's a SmackDown and a Raw and they hate each other? And 2002, Coach, it's absolutely ridiculous that they are still doing that today. There is no rhyme or reason for it whatsoever, bro.
I also say this, and you guys, when you watch Monday Night Raw tonight, you tell me if the coach wasn't right. When you have multiple, and I'm talking last week, I think there was at least 3 that were at least 2 segments, sometimes 3 segments. And then you're going to tell me, well, we need to have a 40-minute segment with the Judgment Day and then back that up with a 40-minute match with 3 commercial breaks in it. That screams to me your bench is not long enough. You don't have enough talent to fill a 3-hour show and then 2 more hours on Friday, which is now on USA because Fox wanted nothing to do with SmackDown. So to me, you put your biggest stars, which is how when you ran it, that's how you got the biggest ratings.
Coach, do you know, you probably don't even realize this. Coach, do you know during the Attitude Era, not one match went through break? Not one.
You're kidding.
One. That's the way every segment was self-contained. A wrestling match did not go through a commercial break. Coach, I'm like you, bro. It's like professional sports. Bro, who are your 20 players? Who are the people that you were going to go with? Who is the money? You go with them, and we have continuing storylines from Raw to SmackDown, Raw to SmackDown, Raw to SmackDown. That is your team. Because, Coach, let's face it, man, they're putting guys and gals on this team that not only do we not give a crap about, they have no business being on the show. Some of the people, bro, in the WWE that are on primetime television, it is an absolute joke. And then they wonder, oh my God, bro, at one point we used to do over 5 million people on Monday night. Now we're doing 1.7. Yeah, bro, because Coach, what's supposed to be on television? Television stars, bro, not wannabe indie wrestlers. Television stars. These people, Coach, are not stars.
I said last week, of course I got crushed for it. I get crushed for everything. But at the end of the day, we're always right. We're always right. And when you put Gunther as your world heavyweight champion back during the Attitude Era, that was when Vince and Triple H said the world heavyweight championship has got to be the most important thing. And and Cody just talked about this last week in Ireland when he was filling in for Triple H, who was home at his daughter started college or something. I'm glad to see he skipped a show for his daughter. That was cool. But what Cody said is the pressure that's on me as a world heavyweight champion. If you're heading into a $5 billion deal with Netflix, you're going to put your world heavyweight championship on a guy from Austria when you need to now show Netflix how polarizing you are, how polarizing the entire talent base is, and that's what I'm going to get from Monday night? I don't think it's good enough. Not even close.
Yeah, you know, Coach, one thing, man, if you've been behind the scenes for as long as you and I have been, and you were back there a lot longer than I, bro, it is so clear to watch this show and know who the favorites are.
Oh.
Guys, you got to stop playing favorites. Like, seriously, there are people on TV and people in key spots that have no business being there, Coach. And okay, that guy's this guy's boy, and that guy's this. They've got to stop that, Coach, because it is getting so freaking obvious, man.
Let me ask you this, because I remember going to matches before. So like in 1997, 1998, I went to matches before I started in 1999, and I had no idea I was going to the WWE. What was your formula when you guys came on the air for Monday Night Raw? What was the first music you heard from a talent almost every single week?
The glass breaking.
The glass breaking. Or
yep.
Rock. Or it was a star. It was an absolute star.
Or Mr. McMahon, because you knew he was a star. He was a star, and he was going to set the tone for the entire night.
This is a funny story, and then we'll wrap it up, because this is. Can I tell you, just man to man, how much fun this show is going to be? Because we're going to. This 45 minutes is so much kind of different than I expected. I'll be honest with you, in the most positive way, because we can have fun and rant and make fun of each other, but sometimes we got to hit these topics, and that's what you and I can do, and that's what I appreciate out of you. But I'll never forget this. This tells you how much Rock and Triple H despise each other. You talk about favorites. Back when Rock came back in 2006, he did a segment with me and him in San Diego, and the biggest thing people need to understand, that the surprise element of any wrestling story or route is the surprise. We snuck Rock in, and we were supposed to have 12 minutes. We were going over. I said, "Hey, Rock, this feels like it's longer than 12 minutes. He looked at me and goes, "What did I always teach you, Coach?" And I said, "That if it's really great, there's nothing the boss can say about it." He goes, "Exactly right." He goes, "What's the other thing I taught you?" I go, "I don't know." He goes, "If you can stick it to somebody you don't like, you stick it to somebody you don't like." And I said, "What are you talking about?" Guess who was on the crossover that particular night in San Diego on Monday Night Raw?
Triple H.
Triple H.
There
and what
go.
people, the crossover for everybody at home is when you cross over the hour. So like at 10 o'clock, and then you shrink it depending on how long the rest of the stuff goes. And that is where Triple H was. So the longer we went, the shorter his match was. We went 23 minutes, Vince. 23 minutes.
Yeah.
And boy, was Triple H pissed. He
Coach,
was pissed.
You want to hear something? I just did a Attitude Era show because I review it on my show. I just did the night after Rock shocked everybody and joined the corporation. Bro, the segment was 21 minutes, Coach. I swear to you, it felt like 3. Whereas when you watch today, it goes on and on, and zero business is accomplished. Rock went 21 minutes, bro, with Austin and Vince. It felt like 3 minutes.
100%. And we'll end with this. For those of you that wanted to compare Rock beating up Cody leading up to WrestleMania as the same thing as what happened at AEW last week, he didn't use anything that was dangerous. It was talking. It was a beatdown of what wrestling truly is. He didn't take a knife and try to stick. We didn't even talk about the knife. What about the knife? I mean, what are we doing? What about the knife and the cinder block and all the just ridiculousness? But you can do it the right way. And that's the way. And you'll never see Rock fly off of anything because he was that great. And he thought, and he sit down, and he worked with guys like Vince and all the writers. Now the writers are scared to death that they're going to be told after your 3-month tryout, you're going to lose your job. So we'll do what you want. That's what they did.
Exactly, Coach.
I want to end every single show with like your kind of biggest takeaway as we head into Monday Night Raw. Just kind of the last 30 or 45 seconds on where you think they're going and what the week might look like, Vince.
Well, I'll tell you where they need to go. Coach. But see, here's the difference between them and me. When I used to write, Coach, I swear to you, the fans, the real fans, the casual fans, the masses, they were writing the show. I was listening to them, and I was going through the ratings minute by minute like it was a science. There's something very interesting happening now, and it's been happening now for a couple of weeks. They're chanting for Roman Reigns. And Cody Rhodes is quickly becoming yesterday's news. When you watch Cody in the ring at SmackDown and they are cheering for Roman Reigns, they are telling you, okay, bro, enough with Cody's promos, and we need to go back to the tribal chief now. We missed him. We want him coming back as a babyface. So, Coach, I'm going to predict right now. Remember the Austin Brett turn, the legendary turn? A lot of people call that the greatest turn in the history of wrestling during that one match. We're going to have that with Cody and Roman Reigns, and it's going to completely flip because, Coach, I have been receiving hell for years now saying, bro, Cody is a heel. Cody is not a baby face. He's going out there in expensive suits. He's showing off his own personal bust. He's talking over your heads with this king's language. He is not a baby face, bro. The dude is a heel. So you are going to see that. I'm not going to guarantee that, Coach, because that's what they need to do. But a lot of times they're not listening to the fans anymore. But what they need to do is when Reigns comes back, I don't know if it's through a tag team situation first, whatever it is, we got to switch that, bro. And Roman's got to be the baby face and Cody's got to be the heel.
We're going to talk about that on Thursday's episode. What do we think the immediate future will be for Cody and Roman? And our ideas might surprise you, but I think we are dead freaking on. Vince, well done, sir. Well,
thank you very much, Coach. Done. Had a blast, man. I look forward to this twice a week, bro. This is I love it, Coach.
Me too. That's gonna do it for episode number 1. We're gonna be all over the Sportskeeda site, so wherever you see these gorgeous faces, you will know that we're talking about something fire in sports or fire in the world of wrestling. So that'll do it for Vince Russo, for producer man behind the scenes. I am the Coach. We'll see you Thursday right here on the brand spanking new The Coach and Bro Show. Take care.